Hello everyone and welcome to yet another episode of Jurassic Park Grand Opening. As you could see, I was trying to build an aviary, but it was turning out so fucking badly, and I hated it so goddamn much that I just kind of decided not to continue that version. I was particularly pissed off at the way the fucking, what's it called, the viewing gallery was looking. So, yeah, I'm gonna look for something in here. Could go with, no, not what I said, game. Not even remotely. Uninstall this too, because I'm not using it. Jurassic Park Aviary. See, this looks somewhat cool. But at the same time, I'm not really a fan of it. At least not for this purpose, and I want to keep the engine viewing gallery. That looks low effort. Use biodynamic rocks, people. It's just generally not a thing I'd ever use. Hmm. Nope. It would be so bad if the front was a... My God. God damn it. There we go. Show more. Next page. Another next page. This is lazy. Aviary. No. That's a cool build, but doesn't remotely fit what I'm going for. Let's just once again set this whole thing to rating. Because that is evidently... You know what? You know what? Let's go with the Jurassic Park Terratops Lodge. And it's placed, let's view it on the workshop. Recreation of the Aviary present in Jurassic Park novel and early concept art for the movie. Note, viewing gallery not functional. Looks pretty functional to me. Functional enough anyway. And we're gonna do some heavy TLC to this. Actually, no, there's way too much. Let's start with just Jurassic Park, the regular one, right? Jurassic Park, Aviary. And this. Start looking really odd from a distance, but whatever. We need roofing. Oh my God, what is this bullshit? Okay, grid size, set that to 1. Gonna stop that one from screwing me over real goddamn quick. Auto stacking off, how about it? There we go. Let's remove the Jurassic Park sign. Let's remove this. Gonna look a little more bland, but that's fine. Statues. Choice of statue is obvious. Pteranodon. I know there is a white version, which is colorable. But it always has this weird texture on it, and I am not a fan of it. So we're sticking with the regular ones. Aviary. All. A little small. There. And voila, aviary. Looks a lot better now. And you know what? We're still gonna do the fires at the top. There we go. I don't hate that. This looks a little funky, but whatever. Good enough. Unless I can make it look a bit better. Undo that last one. Let's just attach it. Yeah, you know what? It doesn't stand out enough to bother me. Gravel. These. We are still in the gravel. This thing. Grid size. Let's also just turn it to just 1. There we go. We got gravel on the top of the aviary now. So that's good. Got this. Is there like a... Not really much of an entry door. I'm gonna have this. Oh yeah, that's cool. Okay, we're gonna have to change this up again. For fuck's sakes. I'm gonna check really quickly, by the way. If I save and reload, well, that fixes itself, doesn't it? Build it in the water. That's exactly what I wanted to happen. So, I'm good. I could somehow have that be integrated into. I wish we had like placeable guests that I could like place down, right? So what if I just do this along the edge of the cliff? And then doesn't really do a whole lot of anything. Well, that was useful. And we're gonna have like a proper hatchery as well, which is like an actual staff thing. Like I imagine this would still be um this tunnel here would still be for like guests and stuff to go through. This is gonna be the actual like staff area pretty much. So let's make a bit of like a sandy area to like park trucks and stuff. Place some stuff down. Okay, we're gonna do this. Now, how would people get up here? Well, that's the somewhat more difficult part. I want to do. I'm gonna have one zip line that goes down. That part I know for sure. So we're gonna have the zip line. It's gonna be a Jurassic Park one. Place that down right here. Wish we could have this be a lot steeper. But that's besides the point. Let's do some dynamic ramp work. Actually, no, hold on. I want to make a somewhat realistic-esque slope for like the way down here, right? Let's also, I'm gonna quickly just grab the sand brush and just rocks, please, thank you. Except for the inside of the aviary. Oh my god, why doesn't it? Fuck's sakes, Frontier. Frontier, you're pissing me off. Yeah, let's grassland at least the inside of the aviary. there. Because the side of this hill is arguably going to be as important as what's on it when it comes to what we're building here, so. And we're going to just pop this down. And there we go. We have this. I'm gonna look on the workshop for something that I've wanted to use. Gondola. See if it's even a thing. Evolution Square Gondola. Does Evolution Square did make one? Didn't? Did I say didn't? Did? I wanted to ask, did Evolution Square make? I guess so. Huh. Let's use that. I want that. So yeah, it's credit to Evolution Square. Everyone that's watching this has probably seen the original version of this. But you know, I want it. Hyperloop. Oh, that is Titanic. Maybe we go for the shortened version. Let's do that, shall we? That is still huge. That's something. What if I... Oh my god, you're kidding. That is unreal. Let's do something simpler. Say the least. Let's use the old-fashioned approach. Or do I put in the work? No, who am I kidding? We're gonna have this be our gondola. I understand that this is a proper thing we can do now. I don't want to do it. But at that point, it just looks bad. You know what? Okay, workshop. One more. One more attempt at this. Chairlift for a ski resort. Jurassic Park. We're just going to download a bunch. This one is made by Mr. Zooman. The shortened version was made by Taylor Endio 3. That's the original. Let's see this Jurassic Park one. Gondola. So, work definitely is gonna have to be done. But I don't mind this. Okay, we're gonna do this a bit differently, actually. Gondola. There. Let's have the thing. What are these cables made of? They're made of like sort of gutter thing. Doesn't matter, I'm getting rid of them. Okay, so here comes the tough part. Undo of getting this properly lined up. I think the best way to do that is if I grab this, make it as big as I need it to be, so we're gonna just scale it up a decent chunk. And we're gonna have this done in such a way that we just have a big ass cable pretty much. I'm gonna just pull across, duplicate, duplicate. This is gonna be really long. Oh, undo. Okay, now what I'm gonna do is just make group, dupe it a bunch more times. There we go, that thing's stretching halfway to the dilo enclosure by now, so. Let's collect it. Why is that happening? Also, why is that part so missile? You can work with that though, honestly. And now we gotta move every single one of these parts into place. Really fun. Okay. That's where the continuing stuff starts. So we're gonna edit group, dupe, locate. Don't know why the it's doing that now. There. And there's another one down here. Okay. Let's deselect that one. Fence move. Have that connect to like the middle. Okay. There we go. Now the gondola is technically kind of going there. And you know what? I kind of need this part to be a steeper drop-off point for reasons you will see in a moment. We're definitely gonna have to make some sort of railing to prevent, like, staff vehicles from falling off at the sides of these areas, because it's gonna be a little drive down point. This right here has to actually be an enclosure gate. I hate this game sometimes. I really do. I hate. Then I have to redo this entire part. Because someone at Frontier, whose guts I permanently hate, thought it would be a good idea to add that feature. They better can remove it at some point, because it's not a good thing to have. It should only flatten like the space right below like the foundation pieces of the build and nothing else. That should be it. There we go. We have big old mountain area now. Ooh, pardon. We're gonna grab this. Okay, we have our mountain here. Or ridge, whatever you want to call it, really. Don't care. Sand, get rid of the palm trees in the water. And down below we can use the sand brush. There. Grassland. And we're gonna grab some rocks, honestly. I don't want to do the fencing here. There we go. Ooh, and this here definitely needs a bit of covering. That looks good. There we go, and now we can properly get a gate down. So we're gonna have to figure out how we want to do this fence bit here. Think how I'm gonna do it. Let's just grab a gate, honestly. If the cable goes over it just fine. And you just open it when you need to go through, right? That seems like the most simple solution to me. Right, so we got the basic design of the thing down. If you couldn't tell, this whole side bit is gonna be a big ass enclosure. Which is why it's all fenced off and protected and all that. Let's actually do the same here. There we go. Gonna do a lot of these patches of like rocky bits throughout the exhibit. I want it to be a pretty open one. Don't really actually know what I want in here exactly yet, I'm gonna be honest. Though I have an idea that might be cool as hell. And that being a Lost World game trail inspired enclosure. Okay, there we go. Put that big old rock back. And we just need to pretty much rock wall this area off, kinda. To, you know, prevent the dinosaurs from jumping off of a cliff or something like that. If they're really done with containment. Just like so. Actually, arid grassland. You still want it to look tropical, but it can be a different like type of tropical, you know? Okay. There we go. Honestly, now I am rethinking that rock stuff. Let's not do rocks. I don't like rocks anymore. Flip-flopped out of that part real bloody quick. I'm gonna keep the way the lake looks though. That part I'm a fan of. It's just the rocks, they're too much. Okay. And we're gonna do this. I'm gonna not have this be super, like the area up here isn't gonna be very heavily foliated. It's just gonna be grass like this. And you can take the zip line down. This I am a big fan of personally. Okay, we do now need um I'm gonna grab this. Okay. We're gonna just make this like a 1 minimum long. And then honestly, let's just put, right. There's gonna be that weird little edge bit. There we go. And we're gonna add this dirt brush here too. And we're gonna add a temporary, we're gonna place the tour here. Because obviously it's gonna connect. Why does this game insist on doing dumb shit like that? Let's Control C, Control V. While we're at it, let's do the same for, we're gonna just ensure all of these pathways are the right color that they all should be. That way I won't have to just eyeball it every time. There we go. And we can attach that to there. Let's just do custom design. Pop that on.
Ladies and gentlemen, we have added a new aviary viewing gallery, ready for you to observe our amazing avian reptiles.
Okay. So next part, putting a absolute shit ton of water into this place. Big ass lake. That's gonna be the primary feature of it. Perch. I'm gonna add a bunch of these just around the exhibit as like rough shapes. And then we're gonna fit some rocks onto them. Because I'm unsure if pterosaurs can still just sit on... You know what? No. Let's build good-looking rocks first. And then worry about seeding for like the pterosaurs. We can put those in the rocks. Okay, there we go. Another rock. Not the greatest at rock work, I will admit. Even if it isn't the most difficult thing in this game. Just not that good at it, admittedly. Yeah, let's have like a little jutting out platform there. Bury this into the side of that. This coming out of the side there. And you'll end up with a pretty neat looking rock, I feel like. And you know, realistically, this would all be like man-made too, so. Doesn't have to look supernatural, just needs to look supernatural. I mean, like, doesn't need to look very natural. I didn't mean supernaturals and like ghosts or anything. That wasn't obvious. Let's see, what's this? I wonder, can dinos like run across these sorts of rocks? Because I haven't seen any do that sort of thing yet.
There we go. There are a few more rocks. We'll put a few down in front of the aviary viewing gallery. Also, I'd imagine there would be like a tunnel going through like this rock or something that people walk through. That's just what I think would be there. You know, now that I think of it. Edit group. Wall. Glass. We can just add a little hallway here, really. There we go. We have a little tunnel between the two now. Okay, so what I'm going to do for the rest of this enclosure is I'm going to add foliage because I do want a decent bit of it in here. I don't want this to be a barren exhibit. But I don't want it to be densely foliated, which is why we're going for paleobotany plants instead of, you know, the regular like trees, the regular woods and stuff. And then we'll just there we go. I think that's the aviary pretty much. We have a proper little... Don't take me out of the goddamn thing. We have like a proper little viewing thing here too. Which we can't get out. Actually, we can go in and out of it with capture mode. If we go through like the big open squares anyway. So yeah, that's cool. Well then, without further ado, let's make some pterosaurs, shall we? Do we want Dimorphodon in here? do one without patterns. I think we'll go with, I don't think I'm gonna want babies in this place, by the way. Which would be a first, but still. Let's have a batch of dimorphs. Sierradactyls isn't in the game. Let's go for, yeah, the quote-unquote JWE variant. Sure it is. Let's go for a dark with red male and just the JP3s as females. Let's make a few of them. And then Geosternbergia. I'm gonna go for a more muted look with the female. Actually, let's do this. Yeah, that's good. Dimorphs. Pterosaurs. We'll have 5 of them. And then some Geosternbergia.
Synthesis procedure complete. Incubation personnel, please stand by.
Let's see.
Ladies and gentlemen,
The
we are pleased to
Morphodons.
welcome a Dimorphodon to the park.
Pteranodon.
Ladies and gentlemen, we are pleased to welcome a Pteranodon to the park.
Few more Pteranodon. And Geosternbergia.
Ladies and gentlemen,
Very
we are
cool.
pleased to welcome a Geosternbergia to the park.
We have a proper aviary. It's in like open sky too. Like it's not like enclosed by mountains. In fact, it's the highest accessible point in the park as of now. And it's likely to remain as such. Look, there's some zip liners. I still feel like they should fix up the zip line design because that cannot be safe. Just sitting on a little pedestal like that. Look at this. That's what you're sitting on, and holding on to a pipe is your only safety. Don't think that's how zip lines work, to be honest. Right, we're gonna do a little bit of the rocks I did earlier. Again, redoing something I already undid. Might be a bit of a waste of time, but whatever. This exhibit does kind of mean if we are doing Lost World in here, which we are, I've already kind of decided. That does mean we're gonna have some repeat species in here. From throughout the park, namely Parasaurolophus, and once we add it to the park proper outside of this, Gallimimus. Speaking of the terrestrial animal, I need to get a new chair. I don't know if anyone's heard it in the back of my videos, but it's been squeaking like crazy. We're just gonna get some of the 9097 variants. Just a batch of them.
Procedure complete.
5 will do. Gallimimus, we're gonna go for a bit more of a muted look. So instead of more orange, there's like a gray one. Yeah, we'll go with that. Still not a fan of the 93 skins, only being the ones with the white spots, I guess they are spots. We'll do 8 galleys in here. So, and then 2 of these will be male, because why not, pretty much. We need Pachycephalosaurus, which is right here. Let's get a proper good Lost World skin going for these guys. Honestly feel like this one. Is there a difference? Yeah, this is probably the most accurate we're going to get at the Lost World. And I want a green one with blue detailing. So this is going to be our Pachy selection. So have 2 of them be males. And then Mamenchisaurus. This is the big one. We're probably only going to have 2. We got one giraffe looking one. And one like that. First one is just going to be the female. But we're going to have to speed up the release process a little. There is a absolute crud ton of dinosaurs that we gotta get out of here now. Overcrowded, don't care. Really don't. Hey, there we go. 2 Gallimimus. Both of these are 6 animals, so. And we just gotta wait for all of the helicopters to show up pretty much. Which is gonna take a little bit of time. Oh, they're flying back now? Do we not have the budget for additional helicopters anymore? Okay, well, that's the Packies. And we're gonna make one more Mamenchi. If I can. There we go. That's gonna be the male. I just need the last of the Pachycephalosaurus to be picked up now. Don't know how many are still in here. At least 2. At least one more. I think this one here is gonna be the last. Nope, that one. Please. There we go. Okay, good. Hurry all of that up. 0 of the bays are in use. That's good. So, now that everything is in, let's look around at what we've got in the park. So, few old arrivals. Parasaurolophus, this time a Lost World variant to match the game trail theme of the enclosure. We have Gallimimus, a species that will be making a return later on at the proper Gallimimus exhibit, once we eventually do that. We have Pachycephalosaurus with both female and male variants. Female more accurate to Lost World, and a green and blue colored male. And of course we have currently the largest species in the park, Mamenchisaurus, with only one female and one male in the park at the moment. We also have this new guest area, which is going to be expanded more as I go. And we have this here, which is the start to the Jurassic Park Gondola ride, which leads up to the Aviary. I'm going to just get rid of those. There we go. Which has a zip line back down that also goes over the game trail. And here's the Aviary. So we have the regular viewing gallery, which gives us a view over, let's see here, Dimorphodon. We have right over there, and one right in front of us. We got Pteranodon. And let's view our final species from our viewing walkway tunnel cage thing. We have Geosternbergia. So it's cool to see all of these guys flying around. Why did my camera go all the way over there? And that is going to be everything for today's episode. And also we got this pathway that goes down, or rather roadway for Jeeps and stuff that goes down here. So yeah, that is going to be all for today's episode. I hope you all enjoyed. Don't forget to like and subscribe. Join my Discord if you want to be notified of all upload, as well as chat with fellow community members. And without further ado, I will see you all next time. Goodbye.